Nigerians need to wake up and understand that domestic violence and abuse are things that can happen in ways that you don't see anything on the outside or in the physical realm with any individual, man or woman, young or old. A person might be going through serious abuse and you will not see any evidence of it on the outside. Probably you might see that the person looks sad or something, or looks upset, or is even crying. Beyond that, you wouldn't even know just how bad the damage that's been inflicted on the person is. And I think it's very important. Nigerians are they are too focused on the physical, and until they see something on the outside that resembles blood, very often on a broken limb, they don't believe that anything has gone wrong with you. And therefore, when somebody is inflicting abuse on you, believe me, do a Google search. You will see that professionals in the field of mental health, psychology, psychotherapists, all of those guys, they will tell you, this is established, that verbal, emotional, and psychological abuse are much more devastating to a person than physical abuse. They can do much more lasting damage, and more severe damage than physical abuse in many cases. And women are much more gifted naturally in verbal, emotional, and psychological abuse, inflicting it, than men are. Men are more expressive in the physical way. So when a man gets upset, more often than not, he's likely to do something that's going to cause physical injury or physical hurt to the other person, might hit the person. But the woman can damage you with her tongue, and sometimes not just with the tongue, but emotional manipulation. The thing is, these are things that come naturally to women, and therefore it's almost like it's not almost like the truth of the matter is that it's now dependent on the upbringing that female receives that will determine how she will use that natural gift or ability. What we have as a pandemic right now in modern society, especially those societies that are influenced by the West, is that we have women who have taken this ability up to several notches, and they use it with deliberate intent against the men in their lives. And we need to understand that when they are doing this, some of the men we see may actually be men that look huge, muscular, and look capable of inflicting damage on the female that is abusing them, but who have been trained by their own mothers not to do so. And so they become unwitting victims of abuse at the hands of this much smaller counterpart. How then do we help these people? We have to become alert to the signs and symptoms of this kind of abuse. Okay, I'm going to be talking about this in more detail later on. I just spoke with a journalist now who had interviewed me on my experience as a victim of domestic violence, and some things I was discussing with her made me remember my conversation with a barrister at law in an NGO that was based in a particular very popular law chambers. The name is a very popular name, and the wife of this popular lawyer was the one that established that NGO. And this lady, this barrister, had asked me a question, I think about a few days after I had gone to make a complaint, regarding the mother of my children. And she instantly picked up on the fact that, who paid the rent in the house you're living in? You seem not to be able to pick up your end financially, doing what you're supposed to do as a man and all that. And that is the nonsense that needs to be discouraged. The first thing you have to understand is this: when a person is going through abuse of any kind, be it physical, emotional, psychological, or verbal, whenever it's being subjected to abuse, it is an abnormal situation. You cannot therefore expect that person to function normally in that kind of environment. That psychological environment is already disruptive to the state of mind of that individual. Now you know, and I know, that we will do our best kind of work to earn income when we are happiest, when we are feeling good, when there's nothing distracting us, when there's nothing disturbing us. Why would you then expect somebody that is already receiving on the receiving end of abuse? Why would you expect that person to then be functioning normally in his or her work, and therefore his or her income earning capacity? Why would you expect that? For instance, many of you may not know this, but go and check it. Many of the, in fact, literally all the sporting organizations, all the sporting professions, be it basketball or football, go and check, they have team psychologists. Why do you think the psychologists are paid to be there? Then go and check the conditions under which they allow their superstars to live. They don't let them have wives or relatives that come and disrupt their lives and prevent them from resting before games. So go and check Michael Jordan, go and check the way he prepared for games. They will not allow anybody that will to mess up the dynamics of his home for him. So he had to have an environment that was enabling, that would enable him prepare adequately to perform at his peak in any game he was supposed to be in. And the same thing applies to us in life. We have to be able to live in an environment that enables us to function at our optimal best when we go out into the world. So if you are going to go out and earn income to support a family as a man, you need a home to come to where you are going to be comfortable, you are going to be at peace, you have peace of mind, you have able to rest, you can get all this emotional nurturing you need to function at your best when you go out to earn income for the family. Now, if that person is not getting that kind of environment at home because the partner is inflicting abuse on him, whatever form, physical or otherwise, why do you then demand that the man, he's not making money, that how can the woman? So the woman, by creating an unstable environment in the home, a disruptive environment in the home, an abusive environment in the home, is she helping or making things worse? The man is not bringing money home, therefore you begin to pester him at home, you begin to torment him at home, and that's going to make him better. It's going to give him the state of mind and the motivation to go out and do better and make more money. Probably the only way he's going to do that is if he decides to steal or kill somebody and get the money. Because you are not enabling him in any way to put himself together in a manner that enables him to go out and conquer. And that is the mistake the people who are involved in social work over here make. I think even all over the world, really, let's be honest. The entire business of the West, their system of social welfare is just upside down, because it does not recognize the need for the man to be given the best environment to function in if he's going to be a provider that is competent. And I think that's important. So before you begin to ask the man, why not doing this, except you have proof that the man is lazy, he steals money, he takes womanizes, spends his money on women and all of that. If that's not the case, then you should not be telling that man that why is he not providing, because obviously if he's being abused and he has come to you to complain about abuse, then there must be some contribution in that abuse to the disruption in his ability to function. In fact, what you want to do is check his history. What was he like before? What has he been doing with himself? Has he been better off? Has he been making conscious, verifiable effort to improve in his ability to earn income? And how has this situation in the home made him look or affected his performance? Many times you will find that the man himself is under attack right in his own home from the abusive female that he's living with, and therefore cannot even put his best into whatever it is he's doing. And it's worse for him if he has to actually have to work from home like me. It was a terrorizing experience for me to be in the same home with the person who look for every way to disrupt me. So I couldn't even focus to write articles, I couldn't focus to write code for software, and I had no means while in Nigeria to go elsewhere, because anywhere you want to go in Nigeria you have to be able to provide your own power supply. In Benin Republic I could go into a friend's shop and plug in. I couldn't do that in Nigeria. You would be a nuisance. So there was no escape for me, and I had to be there. Then somebody was asking me without even bothering to say, okay, can you explain? It was just like an attack that this man is just incompetent. And like I said, is there any history to support your assessment of that person to be like that? Or are there other factors? That's why I said people who are involved in social work should be given training in psychology, and they have to develop critical thinking skills, because all this intervention they are doing is crazy. You are doing intervention without a foundation of competence, and that's why you're damaging life. You're destroying homes. A lot of these social workers are actually just destroying homes and profiting from pain. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, and it's sad. But what I'm going to do is create a system that allows men to educate themselves and empower themselves to be able to kind of prepare to interact with people who are social workers in this area, so that if and when they do have any problems of this nature, they know the blind spot of these people who are going to likely come to them to try and mediate, and they can immediately correct them before they start attacking them. Because that's what they do. They just launch attacks and begin to judge the man. If you're not providing, how can you expect the woman to respect you? That is rubbish. If she's your better half, the first thing she should do is when you are down, she's the one pulling you up. She's the one going to build you up, not to tear you down because you are down. She should even augment whatever it is you're unable to bring. She should complement you. So if you are not doing well, she should look for a way to say, okay, let me do a little bit and let me support you to get back to your optimal self. That is what a partner should be, not to come and start judging me and condemning me because I couldn't provide for her. It happens. People fall. When they fall, it is the love around them that is given to them that helps them to rise. That is the way it should be. We need to re-educate ourselves, because this thing we are doing, the Western model we are copying, is going to damage us like the West is being damaged now. Look at the men in America. They don't want to marry American women. Western women has a complete negative contrast to women from other parts of the world, especially from Asia, the Latin America and all of that. Well, it's up to us. If we don't stop this movement that they are making with their feminism, we're going to be in hot soup like the men in America are.